On today's video, we've got another direct-to-consumer brand, and this one I think presents an incredible value for money. We see this a lot with DTC brands, but really there are levels of quality when it comes to DTC brands. The more I play and test these clubs out on the show here, the more I find out they are not created equal. Down at the bottom tier, you basically got clubs that come from a template, and a company has them mass produced out in Asia, generally China. They stamp their name on it and they ship them all over the world, and they're great value. You can get sets of irons for $350 to $500, somewhere in that range, that perform really well, and I've enjoyed a lot of those here on the channel. Then you've got a second tier. These are companies that custom design their own clubs. I would put Maltby in this category, for instance, where these are not stock template designs, but someone's literally designed these for performance, they've tested them, and then they've had their own clubs produced. At the top of the pyramid, you've got what I've got here today, and this is a brand that has hand-finished, fully forged clubs that are forged in Japan and look and feel absolutely amazing still, for a fraction of the price that you're gonna pay for a big name brand, but you're gonna get all the quality, all the feels, and a whole lot more. Today, we're putting to the test the Toura Golf cavity backs. This is an absolutely beautiful, buttery smooth iron that we're gonna play 9 holes of golf with at Carrollwood. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you everything I like and dislike about these clubs, and we're gonna rank them on our scale of distance, forgiveness, workability, value, and of course, aesthetics. I can tell you from an aesthetic standpoint, I really like what I saw when I first opened this box, so I can't wait to put them to the test. Let's get on it. First off, just having a look at these clubs, they are clean. Now, Toura Golf is based out of Canada, but as I mentioned up front, these are fully forged in Japan. And then one single master craftsman will hand grind these clubs for every set that comes out of their factory. Pretty amazing. Now you can see the badging is extremely minimal on these cavity backs. They've got a beautiful thin top line. This is the 7-iron in my hand right now. I'll show you the other ones in just a second. Down at the heel, very compact there. But what I really love about these players' irons is that the heel to toe distance is actually quite long, and this is a fairly deep club as well, which should promote more forgiveness than your average cavity back. A lot of weight here down at the bottom, going to promote high ball flight. I've got these paired with the same shafts that I play in my normal day-to-day set. This is the Project X rifle. These are stiff 6.0s. Same shafts that I have in my Adele, so there should be some good familiarity here with the shafts. You've got a nice grip there. It says Toura Golf, as you can see. Beautiful cord-like grip. I really like what I see. Again, especially that beautiful top line. And there's your 4-iron, so you get a sense of what this one looks like. Again, nice thin top line, even thinner than something like that Maltby TS3. Beautiful, beautiful looking club. Again, also very thin heel on this one. Love the looks of it. The set I have here is 4-through pitching wedge, and this is the pitching wedge. Take a look at that one. Again, very nice, uncompromisingly good looks. Minimal offset, considerably less offset than you saw in the MT milled from those McGregor irons that I really enjoyed. Another set of players' cavity backs. These ones though, just aesthetically look to my eyes perfect. But how do they feel? How will they fly? That's what we got to find out. So what I'm going to be doing here today is I'm going to be playing irons only. I'm going to be going off the senior tees. We tried red tees recently. That didn't really work because I was hitting too many wedge shots in. My over-under is going to be that same +2 number. So ±2 is the break-even point here for today's round. Let's get to work. By the way, temperature on here, somewhere between boiling and Hades. It is 10:30 in the morning as I'm teeing off, and I can't believe how hot it is and humid. We've got a par 4, kind of short one, probably about 300 from these tees, I would think. I've got 4-iron in hand. Oftentimes the hardest club in any set to hit, unless of course you're carrying a 2 or 3-iron. But let's see how this Toura does. Oh, that's high. Nice little tight draw to it. Probably gonna be right side of the fairway. And feel, whew, exceptional, I would say. We've had some good feeling clubs on this show recently. I would say the MT milled from McGregor's are right up there with things like the King blueprints, and Ben Hogan had some great feeling players irons. TS3 from Maltby, we can't forget about those. It's just so many great feeling irons, and I think these things, from what I could tell out on the range, and before I started rolling the camera, I hit a few shots out here on the course, but I think they are the best I've tried. Incredible. And with that nice high piercing trajectory and probably lots of spin, you can see this ball actually came backwards a little bit in the fairway. We'll see how it reacts on the green, of course, but yeah, these things are probably gonna stop on a dime. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got 154, should be a nice comfortable 8-iron. Let's knock it tight. Now these lofts are not crazy pressed. In fact, at the 7-iron, you've got 34 degrees, which is, again, very similar to what I'm playing right now. Pitching wedge, I think, was 46, and the rest of the specs there are up on your screen, but you should see some pretty nice distance out of this guy. And again, looking down at it, this club has a big looking face to it, bigger than a lot of clubs in this category, instills confidence. Ooh, again, that just felt so nice. So very nice. Let's see if we have the distance. I think we do, or maybe we're just in front. I did catch it slightly thin. And the one thing I've actually noticed hitting a few shots with these clubs is maybe a drawback in some ways, because they feel so good no matter where you hit it on the club. May actually fool you a little bit, but I did feel that I caught that one just a touch thin, and I think we came out just slightly short. Yep, here we are. I would say it came up about 7 yards short, which means I hit that 147. Again, kind of thin though. So we'll continue to test distance here, but let's see if we can get up and down. Oh, get in the hole. Oh, it didn't break. It didn't break. So we are 1 over to start. Now, of course, I do not take my score into account here with the grading of these irons, and I do it to have a little bit more fun out here. Now, I can't blame that bogey on the clubs. 2 good shots, really. It's just, I gotta do better getting up and down. We'll do that hopefully on number 2, or maybe we'll hit a green and reg. Let's do it. All right, longer hole here, so I am gonna go 4-iron again, and this time we are gonna actually measure the distance of this shot. Oh, it was really nice. And these things go so high. Just crazy height for a 4-iron. Let's see how far it went. Wind fairly flat out here, by the way, but this is over 200, 204. In fact, that is great number with a 4-iron. Again, in a set that's not super pressed lofts, really like that. All right, let's see what we've got. 164, kind of between an 8 and a 7. I think since we've got a little elevated green, we'll go 7. This is position A, dead middle of this fairway. Oh, again, great feeling irons. Let's see if we got enough distance there to carry. Yes, we do. Now, one nice thing about Toura is you can get these clubs branded or unbranded if you wanted to. You can just buy heads only. Their standard shaft option is a really good one, but you can also have the clubs custom built to your spec, all for really great value. So I am just on the apron here, and that speaks to the fact that with these clubs, you're going to need to generate your own power. It's really meant for the lower handicap or better ball striker out there. Not a bad line, just broke off at the end more than I thought. All right, we've got ourselves a par. We're heading to a par 3. All right, shorter par 3 from these tees today. We've got 144, and what I'm gonna try to do is push a 9-iron. Wind a little right to left here, just slightly. Oh, it's a good high strike again. It's drawn right in there. And we've got our first green in regulation finally, so we get to check the pitch mark and see where that thing ended up. Now, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here talking about feel, but for sure these are, I'm just gonna go out and say it, these are the best feeling clubs I've tried in 2024. I didn't think they could outdo those MT milled from McGregor's, but these are even better, and it just speaks to the hand craftsmanship that Toura provides for, again, right now, they've got a sale going. The heads, if you go heads only and put your own shafts and grips on, $500. That's insane. That's insane value. Now we're approaching this ball from the side here, and look at that. How about 0 rollout? How about that is literally my pitch mark right there. I mean, talk about stopping power. Yeah, you've got it in spades here. All right, we've got a great putted birdie. We've got 10 feet, I'd say. I know exactly where to mark my ball because it's right on top of the pitch mark that I just fixed. Did I? No. Oh, I thought we had a birdie there, but easy tap and par. Can't complain with that. And we're heading to another par 4. Now, this being a little dogleg right should be a good opportunity for us to test a little bit of workability. Instead of my normal draw here, I'm gonna try to hit a fade. And I'm gonna over-exaggerate that as well to see if we can get some good movement out of the Toura 4-iron here. Oh yes. We started center of the fairway, ended right side of the fairway there, and very good movement. That's what a player wants out of this type of irons. You're not concerned about distance, but you want feel, you want workability. All right, and we'll continue to test that as the day goes on, but for the first shot there, I'm pretty happy with what I saw. All right, right at the edge of this fairway, I've got 166, and I'm gonna try it again to hit a bit of a cut shot to kind of take the water and that bunker on the left out of play. Oh yes, that's carving pretty darn nice. And I think, boy, we could be on the green, but we might be on that fringe again. Either way, again, being able to control the shot is really what I'm looking for there. And to see that nice high penetrating ball flight is exactly what I wanted to see there. All right, yeah, it did come up short there again. And you can see the flag here waving. We would have had the wind slightly with us, but really kind of a crosswind. But all in all, I'd say the distance here with the Toura may be the one chink in this armor. Again, not as much of a concern for you lower handicappers that hit the ball a long ways, but I needed a little extra distance personally. I also need an up and down, and I think, yes, I think we've got it. All right, we're heading to a par 5. Hopefully we get ourselves a good look at birdie. Getting back to that distance subject, shafts absolutely do play a bit of a role in distance and what you're gonna be able to squeak out of a club. You gotta have the right kick point, that sort of thing. With steel shafts with irons, not as big of a deal, but definitely gonna make a difference. Now, these rifle shafts that I'm playing though, generally are a little bit lower flighted, but I'm hitting such high shots here with the Touras. I think that's why we're maybe missing just a slight bit of distance. All in all though, again, if you're playing these clubs, you probably don't need the distance for the most part. All right, par 5, let's do it. Oh, that was one really bad swing. That was very, very low and heel side off the club face, which is why you saw a little left to right spin that I did not intend, but this is where I hit it. And that is not where you want to hit the golf club. All right, we're just about a yard away from the cart path here, so we don't have to change balls. My beautiful, beautiful Legato balls, I don't like losing them. Love these balls, such great value. I've got a link down below to check them out on Amazon, but for Prime Day, which is actually today as I'm recording this, I think they had them at $20 a dozen, which is insane. All right, our lie here in the rough is fair. It's not great, but this nice thin heel of the 4-iron hopefully will cut right through and get us back into the middle of the fairway. And it did just that. Boy, just like a hot knife through butter. Or, pro tip, warm up the ice cream scoop if you've got some really hard ice cream that's been in the fridge for a while. That also does the trick, but that's what that iron just did in the rough. Again, another little performance factor that you want out of a player's iron, and you're getting it in spades here with the Toura. Now, I was trying to hit a fade there and again kind of overcooked it. So workability looking great for the Touras, but I'm back here in the rough and now I've got an even worse lie. I've got pitching wedge in hand. I've got 105, so I've got more club than I need, but I'm gonna try to take a nice smooth swing through here. The face of this pitching wedge, just so big, considerably bigger than my pitching wedge, and a lot of players' iron sets you see, this one's definitely got more surface area. Oh, if it's the club, it's all over it. It is long. All right, I'd say 30 feet downhill, so I hit that at least 10 yards long. 115. Downhill, right to left. Oh, I'd love to roll it in. Come on, baby. Come on, it looks good. Oh, just stopped breaking. They have the greens a little bit higher here in the summer because it's so hot. And pro tip, greens that are mowed a little higher just don't break as much. The slower greens don't break quite as much. And speaking of heat, the astute folks watching this might know that you're seeing a different camera than the camera I used at the beginning of this hole for my tee shot and all the shots before, because my first camera has overheated. That is how hot it is out here. It is just insane. All right, heading to another dog leg par 4. Hopefully get another chance at birdie. All right, now you might have noticed I am wearing some different eyewear here today. Generally, I don't wear any sunglasses out on course, but I got sent this pair of U-Swing sunglasses, and with players like Rose Zhang and others they have on tour wearing them, I thought I'd give them a try. I gotta say, I really like them, especially in this Florida sun. Optics are really nice, really clear, and they're just so lightweight, like a feather on my face. I don't even feel them. They didn't sponsor this video or anything like that. I'm just testing them out, but I will leave a link down below if you want to check them out for yourself. They're pricey, but maybe worth it. I really enjoy them. All right, I just heard a little bit of thunder in the distance. We've got one of these fast-moving storms coming in. I'm hoping I can get this all in. We're gonna have to play fast and furious. All right, we've got 170 on the button, and with a little wind into us, I'm gonna club up here, 6-iron. Hit that one a little off the toe, so are we gonna have enough? Good news, I did carry the bunker, thankfully, and this is a weird like calm before the storm because now there's absolutely no wind. It's kind of eerie. I'm probably gonna play this one in the next par 3, and then we're gonna rank these clubs. So we got a tough little 7-footer downhill here for par. Oh, whew. Didn't think I deserved a bogey there. Let's see if we can get our birdie here on this par 3 before we call it quits. All right, this is gonna be our last swing of the day. 141, 9-iron in hand. Let's make it a good one. I caught it just maybe ever so slightly fat, but we are up on the putting surface and we do have a nice little crack at birdie. So let's go ahead and rank these clubs. I've got my 5 criteria I rank clubs always on. First off is going to be distance. And with these clubs, you've got to generate your own distance. You are not going to necessarily get any real help from them. The lofts though are going to be in your favor if you've been used to playing like a 34 degree 7-iron. So all in all, I'm gonna give them 3.5. Now, next category is going to be forgiveness. And that big wide face lends itself to giving you a little better performance on mishits than, again, a lot of irons in this category. So again, I think 4 out of 5 is a fair score. Now, if we talk about workability, you've seen it on display here today as I've hit a lot of fades off the tee and in the fairway. I'm gonna give these a full 5 out of 5 in terms of workability, really nice. Next category is going to be aesthetics, looks, feel, and sound, and they really are deserving of like a 7 in terms of feel, because these things are just absolutely fabulous. Best feeling clubs of 2024 for me, no doubt about it. So between the feel as well as the looks and the sound is great. I put it in line with other clubs I really like the Wilson staff cavity backs. I would say these are absolutely a 5 out of 5 without hesitation. And in terms of value, again, if I give it a 6 out of 5, I would. But for the quality you're getting of manufacture, and again, not just in golf clubs, but especially in direct-to-consumer clubs, you often don't see this. For me, it's absolutely a full 5 out of 5. So 90 points here for the Toura Golf Clubs. I think if I kept these in my bag a little longer, I'd probably play even better. Oh, we've got one more chance at glory here. Let's see if we can nail this birdie putt. Wish me luck. Again, stopping power of these clubs on display as I got all of about 2.5 inches of rollout. It's not a category that we rank on the show officially, but it's very important to us. Oh, I played a little too much break again on these slow greens. So that's 1 over for 7 holes. I'd say that's a success. I'd love to know down in the comments what you think of what you saw here today. Make sure to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Tour.